Hello, this is your old buddy, Reverend Bill Ryan. And today I would like to continue our discussion regarding the election. Now, this is my fourth podcast in a row that I've done on the election. And those of you who are betting men know that it's bad karma to bet against a streak. So, with that in mind, keeping the streak alive, let's delve a little bit into the election, considering it's now a little under a week away. Um, this is just some kind of thoughts that I've had. Before I begin, by the way, let me just state that these podcasts are new for me. I am a Christian minister, although, as I mentioned before, I'm not speaking as one. Um, it's just part of who I am. It really plays no bearing, or it shouldn't, in any of these podcasts. I want to come across as someone you just talk to in a donut shop or a bar or something. To just shoot the crap with. Uh, I'm sure occasionally my religious beliefs might cross into topics of the day, but it would be unintentional. So just be clear, I am not talking from a religious standpoint here. Um, but I just happen to mention because it is who I am. Um, so getting off that, one of the things that is kind of interesting about this election, I'm finding is that the way that there are two sets of rules, mostly in the way that they deal with truth. And a lot of the things Kamala um, is saying, they don't just offend me as being a Republican or a conservative, but they offend me actually from even a deeper area, being a parent, for example. Um, she's very fond of saying that she has raised a family. No, she has not. She has not raised a family. I have raised a family. I have two of my own children that I have raised. They're now in the late 20s. They moved out and are doing very well, and I'm very proud of them. I've also raised two stepchildren, um, and they are now adults and doing quite well, and I'm proud of them as well. And there was actually two more stepchildren I did not raise. Now, when I say I did not raise them, it's because I think truth matters here. And uh, my children and my first set of stepchildren, they obviously needed, a father figure. Like I stepped in. Now, my second set did not. Their parents were very much involved with their upbringing, and they worked together. And there was really no reason for me to be involved. And being a step parent, for those of you who are familiar with it, it's a kind of a thankless task. I mean, you have to be standing by to be a parent when needed. But you also have to be careful to back off because, you get you're not my real father, this kind of stuff. So it is a thankless task, and it's not an easy task. But it is one that's necessary when it is needed. So I am proud to say that I did raise two sets of children. And then there is another set that I was willing to, but for the will of God, and thankfully, there was no real need for me to participate in their upbringing that much. So that's done. Now, Kamala, she got married, and her babies were 20 and 15. So the 20-year-old is already grown. I mean, enough said there. Now, the 15-year-old, I can tell you from my experiences, even with my own children at 15, they didn't want anything to do with me. I don't know anything about Kamala and her experiences, but my experience would tell me that she probably didn't have to, tuck him into bed at night, read him bedtime stories at 15. He probably was pretty independent, and he was probably all set with his own family. I don't really think he probably would have been all that receptive to a stepmother at 15. But again, I don't know. That's just me, my experience. What do I know, I guess? So just to be clear, when she says she raised a family, she's lying, which is par for the course. Though another thing too is this whole notion of Donald Trump being a Nazi. I'm assuming we all are familiar with the term Nazi, and I think we all know about what the Third Reich did, the atrocities in World War II. It's pretty well documented, all the millions of Jews they killed. Now, Donald Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. He was the first president to actually take this on. It was no small undertaking. It was very political. I have been to Israel. I know they're surrounded by hatred on all sides. I know that there are buildings in Israel that no one can build on because the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims all claim it. And if anyone tries to build on it, the other two blow it up. That's not an exaggeration. It's a very volatile situation out there. So for Donald Trump to go out on a limb and declare that he recognizes Jerusalem, which I think they all pretty much claim it's theirs, as the capital of Israel, that was quite the undertaking. And kudos to him for doing it. And on top of that, Donald Trump's son-in-law is Jewish. His daughter, the beautiful Ivanka, converted to Judaism on her wedding day. Donald Trump's grandchildren are Jewish. He has always been a solid defender and friend to Israel. Why would they call him a Nazi and compare him to Hitler? I do not know. If you can find a better friend to Israel than Donald J. Trump, I would like to know who that is. Furthermore, on the rally that he held Sunday night, it was absolutely crammed with Jews supporting him. There was 20,000 people told, and they actually said they could have fit another 20,000 in there if they wanted to, if they had enough room. On top of the fact that there were a tremendous number of Jews supporting him, there were also an enormous amount of Blacks, Hispanics, gays, Asians. In short, every class of people were there supporting him. So they can call him a Nazi all they want, but I don't know what universe you would actually consider him a Nazi. Furthermore, they feel very comfortable throwing that label at Republicans and conservatives. I would say roughly half the people in the United States fit under the Republican conservative umbrella. And the liberals just throw it out there. Oh yeah, well, you're all Nazis, you're all fascists. That's a little, little loose there with the name calling. The irony here, of course, is that if we come back and we say something like, well, a trans woman is not really a woman, or a man cannot get pregnant, they're like, oh, you've crossed a line. You've crossed a line, you Nazi. Oh, we have to cut to commercial. We can't have you on the air with this propaganda. So that it's definitely hatred spewing one way, and the craziness of this world. I mean, having these 6'2", 6'4" men competing in swimming and volleyball against 5 feet women, and they're putting it down to testosterone levels. Really, testosterone? The muscles have already been built, buddy. They've been built for many years. Just because the testosterone level comes down doesn't mean they're going to lose inches or pounds. Anyway, I'm kind of getting off the beaten path here. But I guess what I'm trying to say is they're very loose with their name calling, and it's very vicious. I don't think there's anything worse than being called a Nazi or a fascist. And yet, if we disagree with them, that's exactly what we all are, regardless of the reality. Also, I got to tell you, this is the most lopsided election as far as media I can imagine, and yet I still think Trump's winning. They're saying that he's edging out. Even the swing states, I think just about all 6 swing states say that Trump has got like a 1-point lead. Now, if that's the liberal media, I would tend to think it's a lot more than that. I don't think the election's close. I don't think the election's close at all. I think they're desperate. I think they're pulling all stops, getting Leonardo DiCaprio and that coot, Robert De Niro. God, you know something? If there was ever a way we could shut him up permanently, God, what a despicable human being he is. Anyway, I'm getting off that. But they're pulling out all the stops here. And I'm reading that 75% of all news is favorable for Kamala Harris. So when you read a story about Kamala Harris, 75% chance it's going to be very favorable. If you read a story in Trump, 85% chance it's going to be very unfavorable. So this is a very slanted election. And I still think Trump is going to win, and I think he's going to win handily. The real issue I have is I don't think they're going to let him take the White House. Now, do I know anything? Of course, I know nothing. I know less than nothing. I'm the last person in the know. But it's just a feeling I get. I mean, they're doing everything they possibly can to keep him out of the White House. I don't honestly think, regardless whether he wins the election or not, I just can't see them letting him get into the White House. I don't know how they can stop him, but it's just a feeling I get. I definitely think they've got more than one trick up their sleeves with a few days left. I do know that I've heard something about the New York Times sending messages to conservative bloggers like Ben Shapiro, saying there's going to be a story out. Do they have any comment? I don't really know much more than that, but that has me kind of scratching my head about, well, what is this all about? Definitely bears worth watching. But anyway, that's it for now. I just think that with a few days left, we need to be very conscious of what's going on. We need to be very skeptical of any stories coming out at the last minute that cannot be verified. I do not trust the liberal media. And I think the important thing is that we all remember that we have the right to vote, and we have the right to representation who we want to represent. And regardless of what the media and the liberals are trying to push on us, we have the right to say who we want to represent us. And with that said, I hope everyone has a wonderful night. I will probably be online again tomorrow. Please, if you like, subscribe. By email, rev.billryan@gmail.com. I welcome all comments. Just please be respectful, as I will be to you. And pass the word along. And I really enjoyed this time together. I hope you guys had a great time too. Talk to you later now. Bye-bye.